Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector, and I'm at the 2019 National Sports Card Convention in Chicago, having a great time. And the event that I got to do last night, and I wanted to post the video of it, was the Topps Q&A. And what's really cool about that, let me explain what that is. So every year Topps will allow people to sign up to attend this Topps Q&A. It's kind of first come, first serve. And you sign up and you get to go to an event, and it was held last night, Thursday night, at the National, where you have Topps executives and product developers and marketing people and a lot of people within the Topps brain trust that get together and just listen to questions from the audience, from the collectors, dealers, whoever's there. And it was a really cool event that they did. They provided food, drinks. It was really well done by Topps. And I asked them if I could film it, and they said absolutely. So I filmed it, and they were just, everybody was incredibly nice from Topps. They were very gracious to even do that, to allow us collectors to come in and have a forum where we can pose questions to them about really anything. And they answered everything we asked them, threw at them, which you'll hear in just a minute. So it's kind of a long video because the session itself was really long. So hopefully you enjoy that. If you don't, that's fine. But I thought I would share this with everyone. I asked Topps if it was okay if I videoed the event, and they said yes. So the really cool thing about it was kind of the icing on the cake for the event was, as everyone was leaving, Topps gave away, first of all, during the event, they were giving away lots of boxes, trivia questions, stuff like that. That was really cool. And there were a lot of kids there, which was neat. That was cool to see. So, but as we were leaving, everybody was leaving, they gave us like a satchel bag or a backpack. You could choose kind of a Topps product bag, which was really neat. I pulled a backpack, or grabbed a backpack. And then they also gave every person in attendance, or at least this is what I got, they were giving away cards to everyone as they were leaving. And I got a 1986 design, 2019 rookie card autograph on card of Pete Alonso. I mean, how cool is that? And it's numbered to 50. So that's really cool of Topps to do that. It's my first Pete Alonso autograph, so thanks Topps. That's really cool. And so it was just a really, really good event. And so in the video, there are several breaks because it are pauses and kind of skips for several reasons. Number one, I was having trouble getting the camera configured right, so you'll see a little bit of that. I get better as it goes along, getting it figured out of how to have the camera angled. And two, I don't know how well the sound is on hearing the question, so hopefully you can. Number three, of course, I had a few people calling me, and so I was shooting it on my phone, and so as people called, it kind of would cut out the video, so I would basically hang up the call and tell them I'd call them later, and I'd try to restart the video as soon as possible. So there'll be some breaks for that. And the last pause is for the pauses that you'll see are for the giveaways that they were doing. I didn't film that. I just thought I wanted to do the Q&A so you guys could just watch the questions and answers from Topps. So that's how that's gonna look. And so thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoy it, and appreciate it, Topps. Thanks for doing that. We'll catch you guys later. Keep collecting.
Also joining us, who will MC the trivia and hand out a bunch of prizes and all that fun. Before we get started, I also just wanted to make a few comments on the industry. This is a really exciting time for the hobby in general. At Topps, we're seeing tremendous growth in all of our channels of distribution. The hobby, of course, has been growing tremendously. We see a lot of growth at retail, which is terrific. The two big retailers, Target and Walmart in particular. Topps.com is also experiencing tremendous growth. So we're at a unique spot in the hobby where we're seeing growth all over. And most importantly, what we really get excited about is tons of new faces coming and enjoying this terrific hobby community. And it's also fun to see more and more kids joining too. A lot of kids here, which is super exciting. This is a fun hobby that many adults have enjoyed for a tremendous period of time, but always important to us to see a lot of kids joining this awesome hobby. So with that, as I mentioned, we'll be doing a lot of Q&A and trivia. we can go ahead and get started. Maybe we can get started with some Q&A before Alan gets started with prizes.
Yeah, so as Dave said, really, this is the only event ever where collectors can come in and ask any and all questions. So whatever questions you have, Topps has their entire executive team here. So fire away, just put your hand up. We'll call on you for questions, and then we're going to break it up with some price challenge and some trivia time. We got lots of great prizes. So let's get the ball rolling. Are there any questions out there? How about right here?
Yeah, you have an exclusive with MLB through 2020, correct?
The exclusive is longer than that, but yes, we're exclusive with them. Oh.
Anybody else?
How are you going to secure that moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to most of our licenses, the question was about extension of
Would you ever think about expanding to gum again, like where you started with?
That's a good question. We have talked a lot about gum. Obviously half of Topps' entire business is confections. We talk about bringing gum back or doing some products incorporating gum. So sit tight. You might see something in the future. We like our gum. It's good.
Go ahead, right over here. On the end. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question. So about the exclusive, have you ever thought in a dream world where you have to make X number of products every year for the license, but being able to trade a few of those to a different company to be able to make Chrome football again, because that's one of the products I dearly miss, and being like, hey, you can make 6 baseball products if we can make 3 basketball and 3 football. Is that ever a dream situation that could ever happen?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Theoretically, yes, that would be fun, and we would love that, and I think be open to that because there's always Chrome football, Chrome basketball, applying some of our top brands in other areas. We'd love to do that, but realistically, I don't think you'll see that sort of thing happen. I mean, it's just too messy with all the different approvals and deals and contracts you would need in place.
Go ahead, on the end, right here.
There you go.
How is the decision, who makes it when a rookie comes up and there's a certain date at which they're a call-up and do not get the rookie card logo designation? This is specific with Yordan Alvarez, and I'm just trying to figure what's the decision process in that?
There is a cutoff date that we work with the MLB Players Association. We come up with a date together, and it's a steadfast date, and Jordan is that, so he'll be a 2020 rookie card.
Is that every year you make that decision?
Yes.
Hi there, Mike Summer from Wax Pack Hero. Speaking of Chrome basketball, can you shed any light on the draft card that was released leaked out a little bit, I guess? What we might be seeing from that, or where that might be making its way to the public?
Yeah, so there's been some images of some of those cards. We're always pushing the envelope, always trying to be innovative, creative, do new things. So we have some ideas in the works there related to basketball. So you might see something related to that coming soon. So sit tight.
Right here.
So we're from Michigan. This is actually my daughter's first national coming out. So she,
Very good.
her question, just because she doesn't want to ask in front of a room full of people, how long has Topps been open for? When did Topps open doors for business?
Well, we started off as a candy company, so 1938 is when the company started. So we've been around a long time doing candy, but officially selling, I guess, baseball trading cards. Again, we kind of sold them as gum trading cards. 1952 was the first real famous modern baseball card. But we were around pre-World War II producing chewing gum.
Have you ever thought of having hot boxes in Chrome, kind of like what Panini does with hot boxes in Optic?
Yeah, we actually do have hot boxes in some of our cases, and we have done it with Chrome. We have to be careful with not over-delivering on the hot box, because if you can't do that every year, that just sets an expectation that's too high. But I think, you know, to do it as a surprise or unannounced hotbox cases once in a while is fun.
I think we got in the back corner.
With the delays that we have when we email into customer service and then being closed on Fridays, is there talks of maybe expanding that customer service so that we're able to have better communication with issues that we may have with whether it's tops now or missing hits, things like that?
Yeah, so on customer service, we actually just increased our staff by 2 people, so which is a lot. It's a staff of 5 going to a staff of 7. So we did add some customer service reps there to help answer questions. So you know, there's some growing pains as the business has, you know, been growing in a lot of different channels. I mean, our customer service, those people have a thankless job. They work really, really hard, and we try to get through all the emails, all the phone calls, and on Fridays, we close the phone lines. The customer service reps are all there trying to get through emails. So, you know, these days you do get inquiries, you know, whether it's social media inquiries, you get a phone, email, so we try to get caught up, but we recognize that we were getting a bit behind there, so we bolstered the staff there, and as those folks get up and running, you should hopefully see some significant improvements.
Right here.
You guys do a great job with the short prints and the SSP image variations. I'll preface this by saying I'm not sure if this already happens, but is it possible to get those in the Chrome releases as well as like refractors number to 25 and such?
Which product are you speaking about
So
specifically?
your Topps flagship, like Series 1, Series 2, and
Series 7. It is tougher because it's much more expensive to print the Chrome forms and make the cards. But that's an interesting idea, and maybe we can look into that. Thanks.
When will you be able to bring Mickey Mantle back to the brand?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Obviously, his rights are with our competitor right now. I'm not sure how long that contract's for. But as those rights, I mean, they come up periodically for bid with the Mantle estate. And we'd always love to have him back. I mean, he's an iconic figure in baseball with Topps. He's kind of synonymous with the Topps brand. So we'd love to have him back. And as soon as that deal's ready, we would aggressively go after that.
You got it right there? You got something?
No, right here.
I don't know if this is kind of a dumb question, but I know like when Vlad Guerrero was signing, like the videos were on like Instagram Live and stuff, like the stacks of cards. Is that like kind of frowned upon that happened, or I don't know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the video in particular that surfaced was our competitor. It wasn't us, but it's not to say that doesn't happen in top signings as well. Different from our competitors, and something I actually don't think the company gets enough credit for. We have Topps reps, or we leverage a network of reps that we have to sit down and work with the athlete when they're signing, not only for authenticity purposes, but also for speed and also to try to care for the cards. I mean, as you guys know, it's very important that, you know, these cards are gem mint when they come out of the pack, so the handling of autographed cards, especially on-card autographs, there's a lot of touching and handling of those cards. But yeah, I mean, I know the video you're referring to, that wasn't ours. I don't like seeing a competitor have that happen either, because we're all in the same boat there. But we try to be present at 99+% of our signings and spend the money to send a rep there and pay folks to witness and assist the athletes.
And I would say on the flip side, these athletes have millions and millions of followers on their social. So if they're doing something with trading cards on those platforms, it's only bringing that many more eyeballs to this hobby, which we all enjoy.
We're right here.
So y'all do a lot of amazing things throughout the year for baseball. Who determines and how is it determined how many product lines you're going to put out in any given year? Because I think there are too many products in any given year, and especially with Topps now, and you just got so much coming out. It's almost every week there's a new Topps product being released. At what point do you worry about dilution of the market? Do you even care about that? Do you even worry about that? Because you have some great staple products. Who determines that lineup? Have you thought about reducing it?
Yeah, I think Kevin and I could probably both answer this question. If there's a product that's not performing, that's not selling in or selling through, it's gone. I think our portfolio of products is as strong as any portfolio in the industry, and we're lucky to have some great brands. So the products that we put out, people want. We're very conscious of not overproducing or making more products than people can handle, but internally, and what we've seen from the consumers is that we do have the right amount of products in the stable.
Yeah, and I would agree. Sorry, it's too loud. And we try to go with a mixture, where we have something for everybody, whether it's low price point, mid-priced, high priced, a lot of packs in a box, one pack product. So a lot of it is like Clay said, a lot of it's demand. We've had, I agree, because I sell our portfolio of brands, and the brand team does a great job. It makes my job a lot easier when I'm selling products. That a lot of the products in our portfolio people really like, and like Clay said, if there's something that doesn't work, we usually get rid of it and come up with a new brand or not replace it at all.
When was the last time y'all did that? Got rid of a product?
Bowman High Tech this year. We're not doing we're doing Bowman Sterling. Replaced Bowman High Tech.
Do you foresee that in the near future in the industry that you'll have more on-card autos than on sticker?
Yeah, the question is about on-card autographs for stickers. We always strive to do on-card autographs. The only time we really leverage stickers is out of necessity in our production timeline. So to the extent we continue to see operational efficiencies in our production, you'll continue to see more and more on-card autographs. So we're trying to evolve to all on-card. It's better aesthetically for consumers. It creates, for us to sit there and sticker cards, it's a lot of time and effort and not getting them crooked. And I'm lucky I don't have to put a sticker on a card because it's not easy. I watch the team doing it. So we do strive to get everything on card. So we'll keep pushing and keep improving there. So hopefully eventually we get to 99% on card. But we're pushing probably 80+% into on card autographs right now. So we'll keep improving.
Yeah, wanted to compliment you on the 2019 stickers being the regular size as the baseball cards. That's a really neat thing this year.
Jeremy Fullerton, who's a brand manager on that product, you can thank him on the way out. But that was, I thought that was it's a little bit of a risky move, but we felt like we can cater to two different types of collectors.
And the other comment is that it would be nice that the stickers that come in the album were also available in the pack, so that you don't have to cut them out of the album because they're made of two different materials. So it makes the set kind of weird. That's just a small thing.
Noted. Thank you.
Thanks for doing this. It's something we look forward to coming to the National just to do. But this year it seemed like you had a lot of other products out in the industry. Potato chips was one, Clear was another. Is this something that Topps is going out to these companies and seeing if they will partner with you, or is it the reverse, or is it a mixture of the two?
Yeah, it's a mixture. It's mutual. We look at the existing, if you take Major League Baseball, for example, we try to work across all the licensees and partners of Major League Baseball to the extent it makes sense. So you've seen partnerships with New Era. Utz came on as a salty snacks partner. So it's fun. It's a fun way to add value to their product. It's a fun way to hopefully introduce folks that might not be in the hobby to the hobby. They pick up you never know how people get into the hobby. They open a pack of Utz potato chips and they're excited. They see something they haven't seen in maybe 5-10 years or something and get into the hobby. So we always love doing those sorts of promotions, and they're usually mutually beneficial. So where it makes sense and in partners that it makes sense, but we do mutually try to work across all the partners.
Hi, so Allen and Ginter is one of my favorite products every year. Absolutely fantastic. Curious what the process is that goes into deciding who the celebrities are, what the special inserts are, because Allen and Ginter is kind of its own animal.
Yeah, it's one of the funnest, the most fun meetings to figure out what the subject list is for the autographs and all the different celebrities. Some of them are fan favorites and personal, favorites of people in the building, and some are ones that are, trendier pop culture icons. You'll see, like recently, we're doing a lot of people who have like a strong social following, because we know that if they can get behind the product and get that message out to all of their followers, it's only going to bring more eyeballs to the product. Yeah, we try to keep it, eclectic and make it fun, and again, try to work with subjects that are going to want to help promote the product.
Do you have a suggestion? As long as you're asking, you got somebody in mind?
I didn't ask the question.
Oh, who asked the question?
In the back, right here.
I'm happy to share ideas later.
Okay. Right here.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
I have a two-part question. First, will we ever see etching again in chrome products?
Maybe.
Secondly, it's been a year now. Can we have an update on the 2018 mini wood minis?
So just so you know, Suze gave us a list of anticipated questions.
Okay.
That was on it. So we're ready.
Yeah, we're about as frustrated as you are to not see them surface. So as I mentioned last year when this was brought up.
I brought it up last year.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Bring it up. Bring it up next year too. Hopefully they come out. Look, we work with with two co-packers based in Texas that effectively actually do the manufacturing of the product for us. The same manufacturers that Panini, Upper Deck, we all work with kind of the same folks down there. We went through an exhaustive process, and we are told that those cards are in the product. And we're scratching our heads just as much as you are. At the end of any print job, we get all the excess. So there, in any production run, there's 1 or 2% waste, etc. So sometimes if you call in and you have a damaged base autograph of somebody, we might be able to replace that 1 for 1, because we might get a handful of each autograph subject back. We get a mix. We did get a sprinkling back of the mini wood 1-of-1s. So after the production run, we got our extras, and there was no abnormal excess amount. I don't know, they're 1-of-1s, so at an end of that, we might get 3 of them. I don't know, we might get a handful of those cards. The rest were put in the product, or so we were told, but we don't know what else to say on that. Every record, every QA, we do QA on the press lines, on the pack out lines. There's QA that's done. They open cases before the cases are ever shipped to do their case audits. Every audit passed. We've gone into all that information, and I wish I had better information to share. What they've said is, it could be a correlation issue. They could be sitting in a handful of cases, but it is a year out. You would have thought, you would have seen some of them surface. So this year's are out there. This year's are out there. Different manufacturer, but they're out there.
Oh, you changed?
We did change.
Because of that?
There's several factors that go into who we choose to pack out particular products, but that was a frustration, honestly, on our part. And look, we'd rather hear they didn't make it in and they're sitting somewhere, and we could at least figure out a way to disseminate them. But we don't.
They show up somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Somewhere, but I don't know. It's frustrating.
It's a mystery.
So.
Just going back to your first question though, on the etching and chrome, did you hear that question about will we bring the etching back? Can I get a show of hands of who wants the etching back on the chrome?
Would you explain what etching?
So it's the line work around the player.
It's the raised.
On the chrome card. Is there anyone that doesn't want to see it come back? Okay. All right.
One.
He's honest.
My question is, I'll call it not game used, but player worn, and the language your legal team uses to place in the back of them. I can get a pack of definitive, and they'll have a little sticker, and I can look up what game that jersey was worn on. But if I get a jersey or a bat, or whatever it may be, a patch, where's it coming from? How do I know that Mike Trout patch is from Mike Trout and not from Mike Smith? from the minor leagues?
Well, I think you just answered your question. That's why we have a point of difference on the language on the card. If it says player worn, it means it was worn by the player and not in game. If it says game worn, it means it was worn in a game.
Does that mean he was wearing it while he was taking a shower?
Go ahead.
Does that mean that it's player worn by that player?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I put the jersey on afterward.
It is a Claymore.
Claymore.
Hey, thanks guys for doing this. Along with the Allen Ginter thing, how does a 50-year collector and a member who's a member of multiple Hall of Fames get on the trading card?
Are you one of them? Was the first one White Castle? Like the hamburgers?
Yes.
More prizes shortly. How about right here? Right here. You.
There you go.
Yeah, baby. Go ahead.
So it's been a while since Mark Hamill has signed for the Star Wars brand. I understand there's a lot of redemptions that he still has not gotten around to. Is there any update on the pursuit of his autographs?
Yeah, I'm Mark Hamill. We continue to pursue him often, trying to get him to sign not only some of the existing stuff, but future products as well. We've been unable to land, and he hasn't been doing much recently. Unfortunately, he hasn't been doing many public appearances or anything, and obviously big film coming out later this year, so hopefully once we get maybe past that or something, we'll get him back signing some more autographs. But we're eager to get him to come back and sign and do lots more future products as well. Huge part of the franchise, obviously.
Right here.
Yeah, so just real quick, it's an easy one. So like for Heritage Red Ink Autos, who writes the number on it, what they're numbered to? Is it the player or is it you guys?
It's us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious. Thanks.
Otherwise, all the players would have the same handwriting.
You? Well, yeah, and I kind of figured that, but I thought I'd ask. Yeah, thanks.
I did it a couple times, but I just messed it up.
I don't think you'd want to see the players in the cards either. Who knows what would happen?
I have a weird question, sort of a follow-up.
I have a weird question. Why are you wearing a Panini shirt again? Get him a top shirt. Get him a top shirt, please.
You need a 3X to fit my big butt, though.
We'll come by the booth.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, sorry about the Panini shirt. It's free. Does that mean it's free and it fits? What do you want from me? This is a follow-up to the customer service question. Only that, what is Topps doing to empower their customer service team to be able to respond to a problem like, and this is my specific example, I'm sure everybody in the room's got a few. I mean, if you buy enough stuff, something's gonna happen. I don't have a grudge, it's fine. But, you know, like Topps Now moment of the week, and I'm supposed to get a gold winner, you know, where you pick, when you vote on the winner. You know, and I don't get a gold, but I get a base. So I fire off an email, and 6, 7, 8 weeks later, I get a response. It's a long time.
Fake news. Fake news.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, we bolstered the staff, so we had been pretty behind on some of the emails and getting out ahead of things. So we should hopefully in the coming weeks get caught up. But in terms of empowering the customer service reps, we just have to make sure we're fair and equitable across all of our consumers. So usually when the phones are ringing, it's a consistent issue about something. So we're making sure we direct our reps to treat all consumers fairly, because the last thing we want to do is to create more problems by treating one consumer differently.
I don't want anybody getting any special treatment any more than anybody else. I just want it to be fixed as fast as possible.
And I think some of that is dedicated staff for Topps Now, because that business has grown so quickly. So it does need, we do need to, you know, respond to those types of requests.
Yeah, we'll get that tightened up. You'll see that.
So I have two quick, easy ones for you. One, when are you guys going to produce more Santa cards?
Oh, wait. Okay, this is just for you.
Sure.
There's a holiday product at Walmart coming out this holiday season. And actually, at spring training this year, we had, how many players, Jeremy? A lot of players, to the point where a couple players came up to me and said, why am I wearing a Santa hat? So we did a whole Santa hat relics with Major League Baseball players. So find that this holiday season.
And my second one, so I work for a major consignor that's on the show floor, and every day I identify cards. So my complaint is, you know, when you guys serial number things, sometimes they're in a dark spot on the card, which is impossible to read on a scan. Or, you know, sometimes they're in this corner, sometimes they're in that corner, sometimes they're on the back. And I get with the shimmer stuff, sometimes you have to move around stuff, but is there any way that you guys could think about implementing like a design spot for those?
I think that's good feedback. We need to be better at picking better spots for that sequential numbering, so appreciate that feedback.
Cool.
Okay.
Go here.
All right, I have two questions. I'll ask them together, so there's separate answers. But the first one is wearing the glasses. I'm sight challenged, as are a lot of people who get a little bit older. I can't read the little numbers on the bottom of the variations and distinguish them between what's not a variation. So I think what you did with Heritage is you put on their color swap photo variation under the number, so you can see that and see, like some of them, like your tops, jumbos will have the photo variations in the middle of the insert cards. Stadium Club isn't like that, and other products, Gypsy Queen isn't like that either. So is there any way that more products can have underneath the number, like that it is a variation? And then real quickly, here we are at the National, you guys do your Rapid Redemptions that do very well with it, but you do other things other than baseball, sorry. You do Star Wars, so why not everyone like throw in like a nice short print Daisy Ridley in your Rapid Redemption packs? You don't even have to tell anyone. How'd you like to get like a really nice auto of Daisy Ridley or Harrison Ford, or an average Star Wars person, I don't know a lot about it, or Alexa Bliss, and I think she's the only wrestler I know, or something like that, more than just your standard baseball cards or something. So, and thank you for listening.
Those are both really good questions. Show of hands from people that do want to see notations on the backs of the cards that call out the variations. Okay, fine. All right. And your second comment is really good. I think that's a great idea. So we'll try and do that.
There you go, that was great.
That was thank you.
How about right here, Brody?
So what's like the plan for more Tops of the Class stuff that's gonna come out in like the year?
Yes, here you go.
Aren't you supposed to give us that plan?
So Brody, we implemented that recently, as you know, last year. We have expanded it from a hobby store standpoint. We started with all of our direct stores. Now we've expanded it to our non-direct stores. So look for them in more participating stores across the country, and then we will continue to do that as we move forward as well.
Yeah,
We find a lot of kids will tweet him and ask like, where do we get the binders? A lot of stores are having trouble getting the binders in.
Yeah. I think did we stop the binders? I think. Yeah. We just did the binders early, and the feedback we got from people participating in it in the stores, it didn't have that much value. So we're doing more packs instead of the binders. So yeah, we did the binders one time only.
And there's also a plan to roll out a kids club in the near future.
As always, this is a great event, so thanks for doing it. From a financial perspective, I completely understand the need for the major retailers, the Target exclusive, the Walmart exclusive. That's awesome. From a financial standpoint, as well as Tops Now, Tops Living, all that takes away from the hobby stores and the hobby store experiences. And I will tell you this, at hobby stores and owning one, and do it more for fun than from a financial standpoint, every week there's fathers and sons and parents and kids coming in, getting into the hobby. That doesn't happen at a Walmart. doesn't have it happen at a Target. There's that relationship and helping people out there. And the more the hobby stores gets distanced from the companies, you know, the more that are going to go out of business, the less that'll be around, less new people coming in. So can you think about what you can do there? And I'll say this too, this week, one of my major suppliers told me my allocation for a major Tops product, triple threads, was 0. I mean, how am I supposed to get product for customers if suppliers are cutting allocation? So, you know, it's great from a financial perspective. I want to see Tops thrive, but can you also, you know, brainstorm sometimes about what you could do for hobby stores?
Yeah, so from a hobby store, I can answer it a couple different ways. So we've implemented in the last couple of years, almost all of our promotions are hobby store geared, you know, toward hobby stores, like National Baseball Card Day. We do the Winter Holiday Pack program, you know, which is free to all hobby stores. We do the Tops of the Class program as well. So all those are all hobby store centric, promotions. So we value the hobby stores, and we're doing more and more with hobby stores as far as the marketing and promoting and promotions through hobby stores. You know, Walmart and Target, you know, they're not going to go away. I will say we sell to more direct stores than what we ever have in the last 7-8 years. I believe, just from talking to distributors and seeing where hobby stores are, there's more hobby stores now than what there were 3 years ago. And there's a lot more opening up. It is a challenge for distributors and for us to make enough product, you know, for everybody, especially on a high-end product like triple threads, because you don't want to water down a checklist. You want to have the value when someone's, you know, spending a couple $100 a box for it. But from a distribution standpoint, you know, each distributor is a little different as far as how they distribute product, whether the store bought that product year before or year prior, or how much they're doing in a year. Because there are more and more hobby stores that are open up now, I think it's a challenge for some distributors that are selling to their customers like you that have been around for a while and new customers. It's a good problem to have in a way, because obviously the demand is there, but and people want the product and they want to break it. It's just some products we just can't make enough of due to the way it's built. So I don't know. I mean, we can talk. Just hit me up next day or two, and I can talk a little bit more about the distributor.
Just curious, are there many store owners in here? Raise your hand if you're a store owner. Very good. Greg, since you got one here.
Yeah, just since you were talking about hobby stores, just trying to get one started. So how would getting into the business be able to buy top product at a reasonable rate, you know, for a small town to be able to get that into the...
Gotcha. Yeah, so from our standpoint, our direct stores, you have to be open for at least a year. But other, you know, distributors will take you on, you know, a lot sooner than that. You know, I can give you a list of our distributors, you know, after this, you know, if you want to contact one of them, you know, depending on where you are, where you're located.
I've asked this question in the past. I gave you a break from it, I think, last year, but regarding the eTops platform, and I know a couple of years ago or a year or so ago, you guys did do some discounted promotions regarding shipping them, but still, it was like ship a card and then get 50% off additional ones. That was for me that has maybe 100 cards or so. That still going to cost me a couple $100 to ship, which if I take out the Mike Trout 2011 card that I have in there, it's probably more in shipping than all the rest of the cards combined are worth. Has there been any discussion to get those cards out to people that are just keeping them sitting in your-all's inventory, just taking up space?
Yeah, on eTops, I mean, we'll probably look to continue doing more discounting to get those cards out to folks. It's kind of I mean, the eTops, that whole platform is a pretty unique platform, and how we constructed it. Unfortunately, I mean, at this point, it's been hard to find good ways to, you know, we want to get the cards into the consumer's hands, but we're trying to figure out a way that we can get those shipping costs fair. And it's not just shipping on our side too, it's the packing, fulfillment, pulling, all that kind of stuff. So it's a fair point to bring up. We'll continue looking at ways to try to do more discounting, and We've also, we ship a lot more now direct to our consumer, so we can look at those rates again and keep pushing our, carriers to get better rates back to you guys. But we're by no means trying to make any money off shipping rates, and we do want those cards in your pockets, not ours. We have quite a collection of e-tops and app tops, put it that way.
All right, how about a couple prizes? Here we go.
Tony had one too.
That one too.
But Jeter's the next one?
That was you?
Jeter's next. Jeter's the next
Where did you hear
transcendent.
that?
Has 2020 been announced? Is that something that can be announced?
Announce it. You're here. The cat's out of the bag.
Sure.
Oh!
Give a clue.
Yeah?
Give a clue.
Huh? A clue?
Give us a clue, guys.
God, what's the news?
Let's see. Son of a former major leaguer.
Former major leaguer, okay.
Guerrero Jr. Or Bo Bichette. Or
Leaving it at that. So it's not Jeter.
Son of a former major leaguer.
Yeah.
Son of a former major leaguer. Subject to change.
We're just gonna have all the Blue Jays.
Good.
All right. Back to the Q&A.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Blue Jays.
Their dads and the sons.
Next question. How about right here?
Oh, so it's gonna be Acuna. Nice.
Nick Swisher.
I'm a big fan of the MLB living set. I've got the full run. We've seen the average print runs continue to decline over this last year or so. Any marketing plans to help increase the awareness of that? You have the advertising cards that you put in a lot of packs. We've never seen a living set kind of promo on anything like that. What are we doing to help boost the awareness and popularity of the living set?
I thought you were going to answer it. So go for it. I got your back. Go ahead.
So with the living set, we do run paid social ads against them. So we have people, it's targeted towards like specific teams. So if there's a Ken Griffey Jr. card, we'll have, target the Mariners or target Griffey Jr. That's one of the things that we do for it. Putting cards in is actually a good idea. That's the police department, so we can take that feedback back. We do that with Tops Now for the promo cards. So doing the living set would be like a next logical step then to help promote that.
Good answer.
Was there another question?
Give her a top shirt.
Need more.
She doesn't have any. Yeah.
First of all, thanks for doing this event. It's really great that you go all out for it. Just a quick question about the national promo. Is there a reason why Mike Trout was left off the checklist for the Bowman promo record?
Matt Bleinberg, where are you?
I'm here.
Can you answer that question? Trout's not on the list?
On the autograph checklist or the base list? The base?
Yeah.
That was a look over, unfortunately. You should have obviously been there. Super short. Exactly.
We're saving that one for Sunday.
Sorry about that.
Was there another question? Okay, please.
Based on what the questions have been asked, sounds like you have plenty of demand. When are you gonna maybe do away with your distributor so there's not so many hands in the pot driving up the prices before it gets to actual collectors?
Do you want me to start with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, every year we examine our distribution, our channel strategy. In fact, we're meeting tomorrow morning to go through that. So, we have cut distributors in the past. Not that it's necessarily a strategy to cut all the distributors. The distributors do a lot of good work for us, getting product out to a lot of locations and folks that we aren't able to service well directly. But it's a fair question. I mean, ultimately, selling direct to consumer, from our perspective, there's a lot of advantages to doing that. I mean, we have been selling more and more product on Tops.com, hobby, retail product, exclusive products, etc. So we are looking at ways to get the product closer to the consumer. But at the same time, I mean, our distributors do a heck of a good job for us and do bring a lot of value to Tops in what they do. So it's a bit of a balance.
Right here.
I have a principal's voice, so I'll talk loud. As far as dealing with retailers, big box, have you worked with them at all about protecting the product, both with returns and people exchanging what cars are inside, or even the pack searchers in the store itself?
Yeah, so we do work with the retailers directly, with our distributors that service those retailers. We've increased the density of our, the shrink wraps on the plastic, so you can't just rip open the packs. You've probably seen fewer and fewer of the single packs at retail. You're seeing more fat packs, more hanger boxes that have more packaging and are more clunky if you're sitting there with your scissors and knives and slicing through things. So we're cognizant of it and trying to protect the consumers against that sort of behavior.
You said you're a principal?
Yeah.
Do you do any kind of trading card programs at your school?
We try. The interest there, they like to use their money on other things like girls.
Maybe something to think about. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Are you high school principal?
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
I just,
Oh, okay.
I just want to, two things. One, whoever came up with the triple rip box loaders for Alan and Ginter this year is awesome. That was really nice to have.
Jeremy Fullerton in the back.
Yeah, that was super cool to watch that come out. No, I just want to know, those series two, last year with Acuna and Torres, they were short print, like number replacement, right? And this year, Vlad got added in with a no number. What was the decision about having him as a no number? And I appreciate that he was more, available in the product when to be able to open. He came more frequently than those other two guys did last year. What was the decision to have him as a no number versus maybe him a number replacement for like 700?
When these players get called up, we are working around the clock to try and get them in and squeeze them in and stop production and drop the cards in and pack out. That was just an oversight. It should have had a card number on the back, and it got corrected for the complete set.
Going back to your partnership with other companies, the Utz potato chip, I collect oddball cards, and I would normally collect that, but it's the same card you have. All you did was put Utz on it. So it's really, to me, it's useless. A couple of years ago, you did the market side pizza one, which was beautiful, different cards. I don't really want to collect something that you can get so easy. I mean, I got fat on the pizza, but I'm not going to eat the potato chips.
I think that merely just came down to production and timelines to get those products into the Utz potato chips on their side, driving it, creating a new design. I mean, we have a much longer runway with the Walmart promotion to get those market side pizza designs that were unique to that promotion. So we'll always look for ways, but it's good feedback. We were trying to get something out to the marketplace and meet both parties' deadlines at that time.
Right here.
Sorry. You put the yellow parallels in Walgreens and you package in a hanger box. Can you do that also with the purples that are at Myers? Because those cars get so damaged being in those blister packs most of the time. And also, people search them really easily. Was one of the decisions about or ideas to put those purples in more stable?
Yeah, that's good feedback. Sometimes it depends on the retailer themselves when it comes down to space, peg space. So there's different factors involved. Sometimes, one retailer will want a hanger box or a value box or a value package. So a lot of it depends on what they're looking for. But that is good feedback. Because I know the yellow ones, we've had pretty good success with the yellow parallels. But yeah, a lot of times it just comes down to available peg space that the retailer has and what configuration they want to put in there.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to how you guys come up with a price point for a product, if it's a percentage margin on how much it costs you, or is it something you guys just determine off the top of your head?
It's a good question. No, we try to look across our portfolio. We look at the price per hit. We look at the technology. There's a lot of factors that play into how those products are priced. So we do spend a lot of time monitoring secondary prices, looking at like-for-like products, all that kind of stuff. The strength of the checklist that we're putting into it, all those sorts of things. So there's a lot of time and effort, and try to get it right as best as we can. And we do, we publish SRPs. It's up to, folks to, we can't control the secondary market prices, but we, control our wholesale prices, and we put out what we suggest the proper pricing be based on a lot of those factors I described.
To piggyback on that question about pack out, recently I started collecting packs, and I got myself a 1981, the cello pack that has the Fernando Valenzuela on front. Any interest in packing out packs that way again, to have that cards visible through the packs?
Yeah, so the question's about the cello packs that we used to do in the 70s, 80s. Right now there is no desire to go back to where it's clear and you can see those cards. And again, that's mostly driven by our retail partners and the desired packaging that they would like.
I will say that we do a one SKU in Target, sometimes in Series 1, and I think it's Series 2, where there's 3 packs, and there's a card on the outside. So it's not the same as, the 6 that you can see on Rack Pack back in the day, but so there are some.
I do have a comment.
Yeah, there you go.
Any questions? Got it over here.
My question to you is about National Baseball Card Day. When you send out the cards to the hobby shops to distribute on National Baseball Card Day, do you give them guidelines on how to distribute them?
Yes, we do. It's up to, we give them a little bit of leeway though as well. They should be giving them out for free and not selling them. And it just depends on, sometimes stores will get different allotments as far as how many they get. So sometimes I think they do it like 1 per family, sometimes 1 per person, but it should be 1 per person as well. And then a week later we have the next card where you come in and buy $10 worth and you get the second card as well.
Just curious, who here is aware of National Baseball Card Day this year? You know what it is? And keep your hands up. Do you plan on supporting a hobby store on that day? For the most part? It's a really good program. Top spends a lot to support local card stores on that. It's really important to
There's a
support
lot of
them.
people that don't have local card stores to get that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm at big cities too, so I'm out in the booth.
Talk about the board on this year. Yeah. So to alleviate a lot of those concerns, we are doing a program with Walmart this year on National Baseball Card Day. It's not the same program that we're doing in the hobby, but there will be a National Baseball Card Day program in Walmart this year, the next Saturday. We are doing a program with Walmart around National Baseball Card Day this year for the first
But
time.
if you're near a local card store, support your local card store.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, I'm with you. All right, guys, let's do a couple prizes.
Easy questions.
Okay.
It's to get to know the employees of the company a little better, okay? How many employees are there?
Within
5%.
500. Within 30 or about 550 employees globally.
Globally, okay.
Yeah.
And then, is there anybody in the company that does not collect? Would you say that all the employees here right now tonight, do they all collect?
Yeah, I think everyone in the room definitely collects, that I'm aware of, collects something. I don't know if they collect baseball cards or Topps cards, but something.
I collect naval lint and Joe Jam.
What do you collect outside of baseball cards?
Hockey, football, basketball.
Outside of trading cards? Do you collect anything else?
Sports memorabilia, autograph memorabilia.
Okay.
I can tell you, I've been involved with Topps for over 20 years and known hundreds of employees. And for the most part, almost all of them are passionate collectors that are really, really into cards. I'm not going to say every single one, but I've been involved with Topps for a long time, and up and down there, they are really into cards. They like talking about cards, they like collecting cards, they have a collection, they have their favorite cards. It's really, there's a lot of passion for cards at Topps.
Well, I sort of got that when Clay was saying when you're trying to decide what stars to put in, like some of the products. And it comes from maybe an employee's favorite actor or actress. It's actually very cool, and I would think it would be very cool to work for a company like Topps.
It is.
It is. Yes.
I have two questions. I wanted to buy Topps apparel prior to coming, but that's really difficult. So why don't you guys make more like shirts?
We have a partner on the t-shirt side, a company called Homage.
Well, that's who I bought it from,
Okay.
but I was hesitant because I wanted to buy them from Topps and that wasn't transparent.
Sometimes we do carry their shirts, but they sell out very quickly. But yeah, Homage is the best place right now.
I mean, they did have a lot of cool stuff, but
Cool.
so my other question is, what do you do as a company to support the endeavors of like the MLB teams or like the WWE's anti-bullying campaigns? Like they do a lot of philanthropic things in their communities. So what does Topps as a company do to support those endeavors?
Yeah, so when it comes to all of the, leagues, teams, players, we do support tons and tons of different individual player, team, league initiatives. At Topps, the biggest initiative that we support is the Dream Foundation, which is based in New York, New Jersey, so our headquarters is in New York, and that organization does a lot of programs for inner city youth, after school programs. They have a summer baseball league. We sponsor one of the teams, and we like programs like that. It's local, and it's more than just giving away product or giving money, but it gives our employees an opportunity to actually go and coach for a day with the young kids. You can go and tutor and help them with their after school studies. So it gives the Topps base a nice way to engage in our local community and help out. And we of course there's a big Topps championship day when all the kids come out. We shut down an entire city block in Harlem. We do events all day long where there's nearly 100 employees volunteering, running games and all sorts of that stuff, giving away prizes, volunteering their time. So we feel those are really impactful when we can get involved at a company level. But we do support tons and tons of individual player, team, and league events. So that's some of our philanthropic activities.
Just real quick, we're going to be wrapping this up in 5 minutes. So and correct me if I'm wrong here, Wendy, but on the way out, everybody's going to get a gift. Is that right?
Yeah, you get to choose one of these table actions and then you get on the way out. But
All right.
you can't come back.
Yeah, so once you leave, you can't come back. You're going to be getting a gift on the way out. We're going to end in 5 minutes. So if we want, we can do a few more rapid fire questions, and then we'll finish off the prizes. So if anybody's got some quick questions, let's go ahead. Right here, boom.
Bad joke of the day. What do you call a fish with no eyes? That won me $20. So.
Excellent. All right, anybody else?
Thank you.
We're on our bad joke of the day quota. Anybody else?
Bad joke of the day.
Right here, go ahead.
What's with 201 to 204 causing Topps Chrome having I kind of like shorter thickness than the base cards? I don't know how to explain it, but it's been on Twitter.
The last four. So when it comes to when we manufacture, there's certain manufacturing tolerances that we allow. So we go through QA. The cutting process is pretty unique. Some cards are guillotine cuts. Some cards go through what's an automatic roll. And so there's different ways cards are cut that affects the sizing. But as long as the cards are within our tolerance, we're okay with that. And to the extent the card companies have questions, the card grading companies have questions.
Can you let them know?
Yeah, we proactively let them know about certain issues and things they should look for. Yeah,
Those four rookies are why people are opening them.
Right. Yeah, and we're evaluating that. We heard that early on too. We're just trying to make sure and see the breadth of that. We want to be careful before we go and make a blanket statement about something that, we love that we have passionate collectors that are ripping through Topps Chrome, but it is day 2 of the release. So we're monitoring that very carefully with the card grading companies as well. So they're made aware of that.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for putting this on. This has been a lot of fun. Who made the decision many, many years ago to dump all of the cases of 1952 Topps into the Atlantic Ocean?
Cy Berger.
Cy Berger. Look him up. Google his name. He's a legend. And it's the reason why the Phantom cards are so valuable.
Go ahead, real quick.
Question about the Topps digital apps.
how are they doing for the company, and are there like any plans to develop them? Or
How are the digital apps doing for the company?
Yeah, so our portfolio of our digital apps continues to expand. We just launched Marvel most recently, and we do have future plans to expand our app range. So we're happy with our app portfolio. We're going to continue to push. It's another segment that's fun and interesting and a different way to collect digitally. So there's we do have overlap with some of our physical card collectors do collect in the apps, but there's some folks that just prefer to collect cards digitally. So we're going to continue to invest, push the envelope, and innovate in that area.
Which ones do you play?
We play, yeah. Fun, yeah. So we're going to keep pushing and find new cool things that we can only do in a digital world too. So.
On our, we have a podcast about the cards, and we always ask when we ever do interviews with anybody on there, if you'd only own one card, what card would that be?
I like the 1982 Topps Traded Cal Ripken. Just my favorite card. I don't know, not the most valuable, but
Sweet card.
My first card was a 1973 Roberto Clemente, so I'd hang on to that.
There you go.
All right, so before we do the last of the prizes, big thank you